guys, how's it going? It's Matt. Hope you guys are having a good week, a good day today, and an even better day tomorrow, and as well as a good week. First, let's start off with a review of my plan going into this past week. Alright guys, so first thing I want to start off by quickly saying is that I'm currently recording this on Monday, the day that it's going to be uploaded, and this is while the market is open. So this spreadsheet does have live updates, so you will see numbers moving, but I do have the numbers from the close of last week, so don't pay attention to the numbers on screen, but you'll see where the numbers were, and if anything, gives you a good idea of how the market's performing this morning, because these numbers will all be changed. Anyways, so with that said, considering last week, I did plan on making some changes. I do have a transfer request going through. Again, it did not go through. I did, however, receive an email, so there's an update there this morning. I haven't read the contents of the email yet, but I did see in the brief description that it showed. I believe there's some issue with the paperwork I filled out, so hopefully I can get that corrected today and get that transfer through sometime this week. And now with that out of the way, let's look at a summary of what happened to my portfolio over the 8th week of this challenge. So again, the best performing holding I had this week was actually something different. It was Coinbase. As you can see here, ticker COIN, finally started to turn the corner there. It was the bottom of my portfolio for the longest time, but now it's starting to see some gains. This past week, it was up 5.47%. My worst performing holding this week was NEO, ticker symbol NIO, which was down about 9.66%. Not really anything too drastic. It is pretty significant, and it does definitely hurt, but considering it was for a while up around 50% gains on my portfolio, dropping 9.6%, it's definitely money that's, gone, but it's nothing too bad. It's still the second best performing holding that I have. So overall, my portfolio was down on the week about $95, or roughly 1.45%. It's not bad, but definitely not the week I was hoping for, especially given the S&P performance by the end of the week. So when comparing to the S&P grew about 0.99%, so 1%, despite some heavy volatility throughout the week that really made it look like it was going to end up in the red by the end of the week. As far as I can remember in this challenge, this is probably the first week, or at least the worst, that my portfolio has performed when compared to the S&P. And since the main goal of this portfolio is to be competitive with the S&P but have slightly greater returns by having a greater risk portfolio, usually this portfolio should and will for the future finish any week at least in the same direction as the S&P, just to greater extents or greater volatilities. So for it to perform over a percentage in the red when the S&P finished a percent in the green is something important to keep in mind for the future. And with that all said, I have a lot I intend to learn from this past week, and I will definitely make sure I take some notes and use that to my advantage in the future. And in terms of overall performance, again, the best performer is still MP Materials, ticker MP, which has really put in work despite its volatility. It is showing support at a high level of return given my buy-in in this portfolio, with the current increase of value of 44%. Also, significant update in my portfolio comes this week. My worst performer in my portfolio is no longer Coinbase. So that's, yay, confetti. I mean, that's technically a bad thing because now we have something performing worse, but it's actually because Coinbase is also performing better. Anyways, so that crown of the worst holding in my portfolio is now with Tencent, ticker symbol TCEHY. Right now, it's the biggest loser in my positions and down about 9.5%. And really, that's just from this past week. It has been hovering around the 1% to minus 1% throughout this whole challenge. So it's really just been one bad week, and we'll see how it continues to play out. And given that it is now one of two left in the red, the other being Coinbase. So it's a good sign, is that aside from these two positions anyways, all of my holdings are currently up 10% or more in the past 8 weeks, which, when you think about it, is actually insane to have, in 2 months' time, 10 out of 12 positions are up at a greater return than what's aimed at, or what's a target for the year anyways. So it's definitely a really good sign, but, we still got 10 months to see how the rest of it plays out. All in all, including the fees, the account is up 4.41%. So again, ignore this. Obviously, it's down at open today. And before fees, that's 7.76%. So when compared to when comparing the portfolio to the S&P over the same time period, so since May 12th, the S&P is up 7.6%. So my portfolio is performing about 2% better, without accounting for the contributions that I've made since then that have obviously diluted the returns in the account. Obviously, when looking at the fees, my account is also performing worse, about 42% worse actually. But again, the fees will become more and more meaningless over time as the account grows and it takes up less percentage of the value of the portfolio. And it really doesn't indicate the performance of the actual portfolio itself, especially considering there are no fees in the S&P index to include. So including the fees in my portfolio comparison is really just not a good one-to-one comparison. All right, and again, you're probably getting bored of this because this really hasn't changed in the spreadsheet, but going into week 9 of this challenge, I still don't have any cash available to make any purchases. I am expecting that transfer requests to hopefully go through. I'll have to update those documents and see where that lies in the timeline. So when I do get that update, I will be making several changes to my positions. I'll have quite a bit of money to add to some positions that I currently have, probably looking at Coinbase still, potentially still in Tesla, and possibly even to some others, but I'm definitely leaning more towards adding some new positions to the portfolio that I've mentioned in previous weeks. So keep an eye out for that. In terms of the new positions, again, considering the week, this past week, the portfolio performed quite poorly compared to the S&P. I'll definitely be doing a lot of research and considering shaving a position or two for better alternatives in the future, given the current market state. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll be uploading updates every week to summarize the past week and point out some new ideas for the upcoming week. Additionally, again, I am considering doing some analysis videos of companies that I have positions in this portfolio. So if there's enough interest, whenever I can find time to do that, I will definitely be looking into that. So if you are interested, please let me know in the comments down below. Again, there's no guarantee for upload times on this because of my schedule, so consider them as bonus content when they are released. Remember to like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching, guys.